Hey guys, it's Pete. It's Wednesday, June 17th at about 10:30 in the morning. We are currently under the I-35 overpass on Victory Avenue, heading to the COVID testing site at Lot E at the American Airlines Center. We've been covering a lot of the protests recently, so just as a precaution, we're going to go get ourselves tested and show you guys how it's done. Alright, so kind of first thing is that there are a lot of cars in line. We've been under the overpass here for a few minutes now and really aren't moving, and the line ahead really isn't moving either. So make sure you're budgeting in time to come to these drive-through sites. We're still waiting. Let me flip around the camera so you guys can see the line situation that we're dealing with here. So I think it's safe to say, in terms of like drive-through situations, we're looking at much more of a like Whataburger deal than McDonald's. This is not a in-and-out situation, but we are starting to make some progress. We're past the highway. I mean, ultimately, it's a good thing a lot of people are getting tested, so no complaints. All right, we're coming up on 20 minutes in line. Still can't really see the end of it, but it feels like we're making progress. We're moving. Lot E is a pretty big lot, so really hoping that it is up at the end here. Otherwise, what a waste of time. So, you know, the requirements for getting tested are basically, you know, if you're in the at-risk older age group, if you've been experiencing symptoms like fever or coughing, and most recently they've added if you've been in a large group of more than 15 people in public, which is why we're here, because of the protesting. So it's worth pointing out that this is one of a couple drive-through testing sites in Dallas. But at this point, most of the testing is being done through private labs and, you know, personal doctors' offices and ERs and things like that. So, but even with that significant increase, clearly there's still a need for this. I mean, look at the line. Okay, so a woman in a golf cart just drove past, and she said, like, she was taking a head count, and she said we should be okay, which is good because we've been here about 40 minutes, and we know that the AAC test center in particular has been running out its test allotment pretty much daily at noon. So we thought getting here at around 10:30 would be close enough, and it looks like we're just going to be under the gun. So if you're trying to get tested here at the AAC, I would recommend absolutely coming no later than 10 o'clock, just to be safe. It's important to note that at this point, most testing is being done in the private sphere, but given that this is the public option, I felt like this is the important one for us to document and to share the experience about. We are getting pretty close. We're kind of right up against the AAC here, so shouldn't be too far away. Here we are outside of the AAC, and you can see there's the line officially of through traffic and testing. All right, so we're getting really close. We're, I think, 4 cars away. All right, so this is funny. After an hour-long wait in the car, we get up to the entrance here, and we're told we have a 2-hour wait. Here's hoping that was just poor placement on the sign. Alright, so here's an update. We're about 2 hours and 15 minutes into this process. We have not yet been tested. Our information has been taken down. We offered kind of an informed consent. We were given like this instruction guide, which is available in English and in Spanish. And we're waiting. It's a long wait. It's worth keeping in mind you're not allowed to get out of your car for any reason, and there are no public restrooms, so be prepared for that. I will say this is very long. It's pretty boring. There's not a lot of activity. We've just kind of been going up this parking garage. I believe the actual nose swab testing is done up on the top level. But their car is still being, on the other way going down. So really no clue, but it's taken a long ass time. So be prepared for that. And frankly, if you have access to other options, I would explore those. All right, I don't think I acknowledged this point yet, but there's no contact with the administrators. Windows are up the whole time. The couple times they passed along the paperwork to us, they did so with kind of like one of those dinosaur claws, kind of handing it to you through the window. That was 3 stories down the garage ago. And we've had a couple interactions with information takers since then, but it's all been done through the window. Okay, we're approaching hour 3 of waiting for this test. It appears we are not going onto the roof of the parking garage as initially anticipated. After coming all the way up and looping all the way up, we're going to be looping across and looping down. Probably getting tested right before we exit the parking garage that we're at right here across from the AAC. Or that's what I presume for the time being. After waiting in line for a good 3 hours now, close to 3.5 hours, we have passed this sign. Yay! Alright gang, we're approaching the 4-hour mark. We are coming up on descending back to level 2 of this parking garage across from the American Airlines Center. While the end isn't literally in sight, it is figuratively. We hope. Alright, so it looks like we are definitely in the home stretch. We just passed the sign that said testing. Testing this way. We kind of have one final turn down, one towards the exit, at which point I believe we will finally get tested after a brisk 4.5 hours, I'd say. Alright, so a couple quick points. Yeah, obviously this is taking a long time and that is disappointing, but it is a free option for people who are uninsured and don't have access to other avenues for private testing. I have heard from a couple friends who did the private testing route, including the CVS route, which I was told was like a 10-minute in and out process. If you have the means and private testing available to you, I 100% recommend that route over this one. I was texting with some friends earlier, and one of them made the joke, what if the real COVID-19 test is the patients you are forced to test along the way? And there's some real validity to that. This is a long and boring and arduous process. Although, I commend the county and the city for making this available. I suppose the federal government as well. However, I know for a fact that Dallas County Judge Clay Jenkins has been very vocal about there not being enough testing available for the county's needs. So here we are. We're in the final push. Here's hoping we get tested soon. All right, a worker just took the paperwork that had been filled out previously and been attached to my rearview mirror, and I can see the end of the line. There's really just 5 cars in front of me at this point. So we are almost done. Almost. Next up, we just have to stick some swabs up our nose. Ooh, it's almost nose swab time, gang. Okay, great.
So this number right there will call you in 3 to 5 days with your results.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, this one is your swab.
Okay.
After you roll the window back up, you're going to insert it into your nose, do 2 big circles. And
Like
then
around the rim?
Yeah, like swab the wall.
Okay.
Then hold it. When
Okay.
it's time, I'll tell you, and then you'll switch and do the other nostril.
Okay, raise the window back up first?
Yep.
Okay. Alright, we're going to do 2 big circles. Hold for 15 seconds. Both the same one on both? Okay. Yeah.
Just drop it right in.
Down first.
Tip down, yep. Okay, that's it. You're good to
I'm
go.
done?
Okay, yeah.
Alright, thank you so much.
Okay.
Appreciate you. Alright, so that part was really painless once we got going. Now I just gotta let this car get out ahead of me and we're done. A 4.5 hour wait for a literal 30-second process. We're gonna find out our results in 3 to 5 days. Let's hope for negative.